I will have to translate your.
Recording is on.
Okay,
Ah,
that's it. I will have to translate your answers in Italian. So after you talk a little bit, I will stop and explain what you said.
ok.
Okay. I will just introduce you now. Ok. Buongiorno. Oggi parliamo con Dimitar Gougov, che è un suonatore di gadulka, è uno strumento bulgaro. Fa parte di un gruppo che si chiama Violon Barbar. Fanno una musica molto innovativa con questo strumento. Gli farò qualche domanda sul suo percorso musicale e su come approccia lo strumento. So Dimitar, nice to have you here and thank you for joining us.
You're welcome.
Okay, thank you very much. And I would like to start with a question about your how did you start to play this instrument that you play, the gadulka, and what are you doing with this instrument as a musician?
So, I was born in Bulgaria, in Silistra. Silistra is in the north part of Bulgaria. It's on the Danube. It's on the border of the Danube, the big river. And it's not far away from the Black Sea. And my parents never did music. So
that's interesting.
I come not from a family of musicians. I'm the first one. And from my family, it's not directly the family, but from the one part of the family, there were a woman who played gadulka. En français, c'est marraine.
La tua madrina in italiano. Ok.
She's not on the family, but voilà. And one day my mother asked me, do you want to play an instrument? Oh yeah. And do you want to play gadulka? I don't know. Because you know your marraine give lessons of gadulka in the music school.
Okay.
So I said, okay, I will go and I will try.
Okay.
I was 10 years old, and on the first lesson, the teacher asked me, so tell me now, why do you want to play this instrument? Because you would like to play, or because your mother wants that you play this instrument? And I answered this. It's because of my mother.
Okay, you were very frank.
Yeah.
Let's say. Okay, I will just translate what you said. Quindi Dimitar viene dal nord della Bulgaria, vicino al Danubio, è vicino al Mar Nero. Non viene da una famiglia di musicisti, quindi il suo approccio alla gadulka è stato un po' strano, perché la sua madrina suonava la gadulka e sua madre gli ha chiesto un giorno se voleva imparare questo strumento, al che lui ha detto va bene, vabbè, proviamo, e quindi è andato lì da questa madrina che dava già lezioni di musica in una scuola di musica locale, aveva 10 anni, e quando lei gli ha chiesto se era stato lui o la mamma a indirizzarlo alla scuola di musica, lui ha risposto è stata mia madre. È stato molto sincero. Ok, thank you. But then you fell in love in some way with this instrument, I guess.
It's not,
after maybe 10 years of playing.
It was not so quickly.
Okay.
To fell in love with the instrument. It was maybe 3 or 5 years later.
Mm-hmm.
So I was a good student in the school, good school boy, and also it was a part of my study. And I studied good my instrument.
Mm-hmm.
And some years later, I heard in the radio someone who played gadulka,
Mm-hmm.
and asked me, "What's this? What's this? It's incredible that someone can play this instrument like this."
Okay.
And this player was Atanas Volchev.
Atanas. Okay.
Atanas Volchev was the big master of gadulka.
Okay.
So, and for this moment, I received a lot of motivation.
Ok. Quindi lui ha suonato la gadulka per 5 anni senza particolare passione, diciamo, però poi era un bravo studente, insomma, faceva il suo lavoro, però poi ha sentito alla radio un Atanas Volchev, che è un grande suonatore di gadulka, e quindi da lì è partito proprio un amore per lo strumento. So, what I would like to ask is, so there were like schools where you could learn gadulka in Bulgaria at the time.
Yeah, it was a music school. It was only 1 hour or 30 minutes. I don't know, 1 hour per week in a week.
Okay. And did you play other instruments also alongside the gadulka? Not really.
No. Usually, every children have to learn solfeggio.
Mm-hmm.
too. But I never learned solfeggio.
But do you read music now, or you?
Yes.
Okay.
I speak only about this moment when I
Okay,
started to
sure.
play my instrument.
Quindi lui poi appunto si poteva imparare la gadulka, circa 1 ora alla settimana erano le lezioni, avrebbe dovuto anche imparare il solfeggio, ma non l'ha fatto più tardi. Okay.
So, and I was a good student with my instrument, and when I was maybe 13 years old,
Mhm.
I have to choose my next school. And with my parents and me, I choose to go to the music school
Okay.
in my city.
Mhm.
And in this music school, I have 1 day completely only music,
Mhm.
and the 4 other days a lot of things. And
Okay.
I learned my instrument plus piano, plus solfeggio,
Okay. So it was
history of music, and everything else about
okay.
the
Quindi poi a 13 anni lui ha frequentato una scuola di musica, cioè un istituto musicale, per cui sostanzialmente affiancava lo studio dello strumento, anche la teoria musicale, solfeggio, storia della musica, quindi è anche un secondo strumento, è il pianoforte. Quindi, ok, so how long did you stay in that school then?
till 17 years old.
Okay.
It was the end of the lycée.
Okay,
in
liceo,
France.
okay, liceo.
Voilà.
Uh,
And after that, it was the music academy in Plovdiv.
mhm.
So there was a concourse.
It's like a conservatorio,
Yeah,
like okay.
It's with the faculty
Mhm.
faculty of traditional music.
Okay. Dimitar, what kind of years were these?
So my music school ended at 1995.
Mhm.
And the same years I started in the music academy in Plovdiv.
Okay. So, okay, let me translate
4 years.
4 years, ok. Quindi lui dopo aveva fatto il liceo musicale praticamente, quindi dai 13 ai 17 anni, nel 95 si è diplomato ed è entrato in conservatorio. Loro hanno appunto la possibilità di studiare musica tradizionale, musica popolare all'interno dell'università a Plovdiv. Okay, so how was in Bulgaria? So I mean, you did study gadulka at the university, basically, right?
It's not a university. It's a Academy of Arts.
Okay, Academy of sì, it's
So you can find
okay.
music, the folk music academy
Mhm.
part, the classical part, only the dancers too.
Mhm.
And now you can find some more things more.
Ok. Quindi questa accademia musicale non è proprio un'università, cioè appunto è un istituto di formazione superiore, però si può studiare musica popolare, si può studiare danza popolare, because I mean I'm a bit surprised because in Italy they are starting now to open up to like folk music, but that was not the case until maybe very recently. I guess in Bulgaria was a bit different, so in this respect.
It was a bit different, but because the Bulgaria was a communist part of Europe, a communist land. So till the end of the communism,
Mm-hmm.
there was a lot of money,
Mm-hmm.
and the politics was for the language, for the traditional music. So
so this is specifically a kind of political
and
reason.
after that, it's not better.
But
The life changed,
uh-huh.
and there's not so many orchestra in each big city.
Mm-hmm.
So the subvention changed.
Mm-hmm.
Before it was the Bulgaria,
Mm-hmm. The whole country, you mean?
the states
Mm-hmm.
who give money for everything, and then now is the comunale.
Ok. That's quite interesting. Quindi allora Dimitar ci spiegava che praticamente durante il periodo comunista lo Stato sovvenzionava soprattutto quello che riguardava appunto la musica popolare, le tradizioni popolari, danze popolari, eccetera, eccetera. Dopodiché, finito il regime comunista, questo tipo di politica culturale è cambiato, quindi è più un qualcosa che viene finanziato a livello locale, per cui gli spazi per questo tipo di musica si sono un po' ristretti. Okay, that's quite interesting because it's really quite different from how it used also to work here. And then after you finished your academy, what did you do?
Just after that, I played 1 year in Sofia in the more popular ensemble of
Mhm.
Philippe Couteff.
Mhm.
It was the first ensemble of the state,
Ah, okay.
created at 1951, I think.
Ah, okay. Quite old.
Yeah. And I played 1 year there,
Mhm.
and after that I went in France.
Ah, okay. You moved to France
Yeah.
for playing. I mean, for
No,
making.
for my private life.
Ah, okay.
And I continued to study music also in Strasbourg,
Ah, okay.
Strasburgo. First in Bulgaria, I studied not only Gedulka but for a conductor of
And
core and
okay. For light. Sì.
orchestra too.
Okay.
And here in Strasbourg, I continued 2 years in the conservatory to directing.
Ah, ok. Quindi lui poi si è spostato, allora dopo il diploma accademico, ha suonato un anno a Sofia con appunto il più grande ensemble di musica popolare della Bulgaria, che era diretto da Filip Kutiev, you said maybe?
Philippe Couteff.
Filip Kutev, un ensemble fondato nel 51, quindi appunto storico, dopodiché si è spostato in Francia, dove ha continuato a studiare al Conservatorio Conduzione e Direzione d'Orchestra. Ok, so that's interesting. And then how did you join your band, or what did you do then in France?
The first thing that I had to do in France is to have some money for my life. So I started to play music on the street.
Mm-hmm.
It was my first time, so it was very strange for me because till this moment I played in the academy,
Yes.
on the concert, in the TV, and then I was in the street in Strasbourg and to play for some money.
Okay.
And this place, I discovered a lot of musicians.
Mm-hmm.
And the people from Strasbourg and the tourists from another city, from another country too,
Mm-hmm.
who stopped and looked at me and said, it's Gedulka. What this instrumental, blah, blah, blah. And with this kind of things, I started to play my first group called
Mm-hmm.
Boya.
That's very nice. Actually, I saw something on the internet. Very, very nice.
And after that, so I started to play more and more on the stage.
Mm-hmm.
here in France, to know many other musicians, and some years later we created Violon Barbare.
Mm-hmm.
6 years later I met the Mongolian musician. I was invited in Germany for one little tour.
Mm-hmm.
And there were so many musicians from all the world, between
Mm-hmm.
Asia and in Europe, not all the world. And I met him there.
Very nice. Quindi lui, una volta che è arrivato a Strasburgo, mentre studiava, per mantenersi, suonava come musicista di strada. E quindi questa esperienza appunto l'ha portato dai palchi, no, alla radio, televisione, a appunto confrontarsi con un mondo musicale un po' diverso. Ma lì ha conosciuto i membri del suo primo gruppo, che è Boya, E poi in seguito, in un tour che ha fatto in Germania, il musicista mongolo con cui ha fondato poi il Violon Barbare, che è l'altro gruppo che lui ha. Okay, very interesting story. Now I would like to ask you something specific about the instrument that you play. So first of all, can you tell us about the instrument? I mean, if what you play now is like a developed version of the instrument, or there is a, I mean, how does the instrument work basically?
Well,
Ok, I will translate. Quindi adesso gli sto chiedendo specificamente sullo strumento che suona. Adesso ci farà vedere. E quindi, eccola qua la Gadulk. Ok, questo è lo strumento. Bello, bello. Ok. Okay, that's so you have like the three main strings and then sympathetic
Yes.
strings, right? I wanted to ask you if this kind of instrument is like a development of something older, or like the Gadulka is born in this way.
So I think that the sympathetic strings is something new, relatively new, from the beginning of the 20th century, because that is the strings are made from metal. It's, in the tradition before, the strings were made from
Gut, maybe?
not natural cat.
Gut, budello, no? Boya, right?
Only with 3 strings.
Okay.
And I think generally from the 1950 you can find Gadulka with the sympathetic strings.
1950, okay.
At this moment, many musicians become a professional with the creation of many orchestra all over Bulgaria.
Ah, okay. Have you seen like an older instrument? I mean, have you ever seen something?
Yeah, you can find us. It's not difficult to find in the museum. You can find, and in my region. And in the north, the player don't play this one. This is the Gadulka who came from Trachea.
Ah, la Tracia. Ah, okay.
Trachea is in the south, part.
It's the border with Greece, probably.
Bulgaria, Greece and Turkey.
Okay.
And it's a little bit bigger. That
You
the
mean
instrument from my region, and the instrument from my region, it's smaller. And with 3 strings, but not the same accord, and the sound is higher.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, it's a little bit different.
So, but this is like the standard instrument. What you're playing now?
This Gadulka become the standard Gadulka.
Okay.
For the orchestra, and there was a luthier. Luthier. Who was charged to make a Gadulka violino, plus Gadulka alto, viola, plus Gadulka cello.
Ah, okay. So the whole family, you mean?
The whole family, plus contrabass from Gadulka. So the only one he was good was this one, the natural one. So
actually, you know who developed this instrument? So it's known who is the guy who invented this new.
No, this instrument existed. Ah, okay. But without the sympathetic strings, so many years, and with the evolution in the 19th century, become
okay.
More this one.
I will explain this. Quindi, allora, la gadulka che suona Dimitar è una gadulka che è originaria della Tracia in realtà, perché dalle sue parti si suonano più piccole, ma è diventato poi il modello standard a partire dagli anni 50, quando c'è stato un grande sviluppo delle orchestre popolari, appunto grazie al discorso del regime comunista. Quindi si era pensato di creare un'intera famiglia di gadulke, ma in realtà quella che si è poi affermata è stata questa qui. In precedenza c'erano altri strumenti che probabilmente erano senza corde simpatiche, ma appunto questo è il modello che poi si è affermato ed è diventato lo standard per la gadulka bulgara. And how do you learn to play this kind of instrument? I mean, compared to since you have this like double schooling, so to speak. So you learned like the traditional gadulka playing, and you studied in the conservatory in Western Europe. How is it different?
It was not a traditional kind of studies.
Mm-hmm.
My teacher wrote me a note,
Mm-hmm.
the very classical way of learning, and show me the instrument. You have to put your fingers like that, like that, with and this sound you'll write here on the
Okay, on the
notes.
stuff. Okay.
So my first melody, I started with the note. It was not on the ear. No.
So it was like a Western kind of training, musical training. That's what you mean?
I'm not.
Or like formal? Like
I cannot say that I learned the instrument only with my ears. No.
Okay. I mean, you did school. I mean, that's why. Because I mean, I'm asking this because at least in Calabria, or actually in other places where lira is played, I mean, this development of teaching music with these instruments was never made. So actually what we are trying to do also with the lira calabrese is to go in this direction. So I mean, it's interesting for us to see how things worked in other places. And, quindi lui ha imparato a suonare direttamente dallo spartito, quindi diciamo non è stato un apprendimento ad orecchio, ma è stato fatto attraverso la scuola.
I think there is not a wrong way to find to learn an instrument. You have only to be patient with the students.
Yes.
And explain good what you want.
No, I mean also the concept of like teaching. It's something that in Calabria never happened because people just watch, and like try to understand how it works, So I mean, there is not like a formal way to learn how to play, and of course, I mean, our instrument is much less developed than gadulka, I mean, also the playing style in traditional way, it's very much you don't even play real melodies, it's like variations.
But
all fragment.
The gadulka was the same before.
That's the thing, So
during my studies in the academy, I was one discipline called folk music.
Okay.
But the folk music before, not the folk music today. It's mean the folk music 100 years ago.
Okay.
And the professor explained that before the music was different from now. Before that the music came into the stage, when the music was alive, only the tradition, the musician played the music a little bit different when I mean the instrumental music, not the songs. You take a little motif and you improvise with this motif.
That's the thing. That's how it works.
And the people dance.
I mean,
for example,
and so weiter. Okay. No, yes, I mean that's the thing. That's how it works still in our traditional music. Of course, I mean if you think about what kind of society generated this kind of
Mhm.
things, probably it was enough. I mean for dancing and.
Yeah.
But now, I mean, what we are trying to see if is there is the possibility of going a bit further, even because I mean the world that created that music, like you said, the old people in folk music used to play like that, and then music came to the stage and changed a bit. But
Yeah.
now the society that created that music in Calabria doesn't exist anymore. People are not working in farms,
Mhm.
anymore. So I mean, the risk is, in my opinion, to see that this tradition gradually fades away because you don't have a place for in
Yeah.
this society for this kind of stuff. At least I
Mhm.
mean in Calabria. I guess in Bulgaria it's a bit different. The instrument is still widespread. What would you think?
Oof. When I was young, there was many music schools,
Hmm.
and it's now there are less of students.
Ah, okay. So it's fading away, you mean?
Yeah, yeah,
Ok.
yeah. It's
Let me say
life.
this. Quindi allora Dimitar ci diceva che appunto il modo di suonare la gadulka è cambiato ovviamente da quando si suonava diciamo in contesti popolari, tradizionali, rurali diciamo, a quando poi la gadulka è entrata a far parte dello strumentario delle orchestre. Quindi c'è stato un cambiamento sia nello strumento, come abbiamo visto, che è passato da uno strumento a 3 corde molto semplice a uno con le corde simpatiche, insomma con qualche spiente che magari adesso vedremo meglio, alle scuole di musica. Quindi anche il modo di impararlo è cambiato. Prima si basava tutto sulla variazione e sull'ascolto, sul carpire le melodie e variarle. Poi c'è stato appunto un periodo in cui questo strumento veniva insegnato in maniera un po' più, diciamo, accademica. Dopodiché ci diceva che negli ultimi anni invece lui ha notato di nuovo un declino un po' dello strumento. Quindi sembra che appunto questa tradizione stia un po' scomparendo. Al suo tempo c'erano scuole di musica un po' dappertutto in Bulgaria e si suonava tanto. Okay. That's interesting. And do you feel? I mean, as a musician, this instrument for you is like a limiting instrument, or compared to other kind of instruments? What do you think about? Because normally you tend to associate these kind of instruments to like a very limiting kind of possibility that you have for playing.
I don't feel that it's very limited like an instrument. I would like to have some more notes
Mm-hmm.
in the low,
In the low register, okay.
but it doesn't exist. So maybe one day I'll try to make an instrument with one more strings,
Mm-hmm.
or two more strings, one higher and one lower.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But no, I think that what is interesting with this instrument is the timbre.
Il timbro, certo.
No?
It's very interesting, basically, actually.
And since I went in France,
Mm-hmm.
I tried to use some microphones and everything to preserve the sound, the natural sound of the instrument.
Mm-hmm.
Because when I was in Bulgaria, and if a musician with this instrument, he would like to play on the stage and new kind of groups and or a marriage or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's amplified music.
Mm-hmm.
You have to choose your microphone, and you haven't got a sound engineer to help you.
Mm-hmm.
It means one member of the group will do music and sound engineer, and it's not the good way to do that with this kind of instruments.
Yes. Basically, because I mean, also what you said, that the timbro, the sound is important.
Yeah.
I explained this. Quindi gli ho chiesto se sente questo strumento come limitante e lui dice no, in realtà no, magari si potrebbe raggiungere delle corde, soprattutto nel registro più grave, però tutto sommato non lo vede come limitante. E la cosa che secondo lui è il più importante è proprio il timbro, per cui, proprio per preservare questo timbro, lui da quando è in Francia sta appunto utilizzando dei microfoni particolari per cercare di mantenere proprio questa idea precisa di timbro che viene dallo strumento. Another question about the instrument. How does it work with fingering? I mean, I see that you have like a small fretboard on the first string maybe. Adesso scusami, ci spiega come funziona la diteggiatura.
Right. You have to press the chords, the strings, but not till the wood.
Ah. But do you push them from up side or from the side?
The first string, you have to play. I don't know if you have enough light. I will try to.
But this is quite clear now.
Okay, so you have to touch with the nails. And this kind.
I don't see if you push them, the strings, or you like from the side or from above on the first string.
On the side, what you mean?
It's like a violin or it's like a lira more?
I touch with the nails and
with the nails. Okay.
The so first string.
Okay.
And the second and the third is something like a violin.
Okay.
And with not with the nails, but with
the finger flash. Okay. But you don't have a fretboard underneath, right?
No.
Okay. Very nice. Quindi lui appunto suona. And what is the fretboard on the first string for? It's like for going in higher positions.
Fretboard? What is the fretboard? You speak about this
stick like this.
You don't need that usually.
Okay.
But, because it's because of this instrument. It's not because of the gadulka. It's because of my instrument. It's what's not perfectly made, or maybe with the age, with the pressure, maybe.
Okay, it's a bit okay.
It's moved a little bit. So the distance of the first string between this part and this part, it's become more and more and more. So when I play with the nails, here in this place, the distance between the wood and the nails is too important, and the string go out of my nails.
Okay. I see.
So
it's like to make the distance between the string and the wood equal along all the length. Okay. I explained this. Quindi loro hanno un sistema per cui mettono una piccola tastiera sulla prima corda. Poi vabbè, allora come funziona lo strumento? Funziona come una lira, quindi spingendo le corde dal lato con l'unghia per quanto riguarda il cantino, ma loro mettono una piccola tastierina per equalizzare, diciamo, la lunghezza, la distanza fra la corda e la tastiera, il manico, diciamo, lungo tutta la lunghezza della corda. Poi le altre due corde invece, quelle più gravi, si suonano con il polpastrello. And how is the tuning of the gadulka? E l'accordatura?
La mi la.
La mi la, ok. Ok, good.
Now it's too high.
Ok.
There's a lot of rain in this moment here.
Ok. Good. E quindi l'accordatura invece è la mi la con appunto l'ottava più bassa. Bene. And now what are your projects right now with the instrument? I mean, how is your research with this instrument going? I mean, what do you try to do with this instrument, or I mean, what is your idea about the instrument?
So, t- um, since 1 year, I started to stop to play my instrument at home.
Ah!
And the last year in the March and April, as I was very motivated to play
Mhm.
and waiting the moment I can play music again on the stage with the groups and pandemic. It was
Yes, yes.
difficult time.
Mhm.
So I leave my instrument at home,
Mhm.
and when I play with my colleagues, we play music together. But I stopped to play my instrument at home.
Okay.
So my idea is now to I don't work on my instrument. I work about the music,
Okay.
and I try to do the music differently. And it's something new. Huh? And I try to create melodies,
Mhm.
not with my instrument, but
With
in my
okay.
head, to sing the melodies, and then I try to play that.
Okay. That's another approach.
It's a very different approach because I have a lot of memory in my fingers.
I mean, it's a lot of time that you have this instrument, that you play this instrument. So I mean, things become like mechanic at some point, I guess.
Yeah, it's very mechanical. So I don't want to play the same things. I would like to play something different. So I don't play more first on the instrument and then what happens. Sometimes it's good to search the good sound of the instrument.
Mhm.
But first, for me now is the idea of the music and then the instrument.
Ok. Quindi lui dice che è un po' di tempo che non sta suonando lo strumento a casa, proprio perché sta cercando un nuovo modo di pensare alla musica, quindi non basandosi su quello che lui già conosce dello strumento, quindi la memoria muscolare, diciamo, del fatto che di saper suonare lo strumento, ma partendo proprio da un'idea e cercando poi di metterla in pratica sullo strumento. Quindi è un tipo di approccio un po' diverso. Ovviamente la pandemia ha fatto il suo lavoro, diciamo, appunto, bloccando un po' di cose, e quindi è così. Ok.
Maybe I can tell you what we're doing now.
Yes, that would be interesting.
So with Violon Barbare, we started a new project with the new tema. How we say tema in English? Tema. And the tema is the monsters and the fantastic creatures. So we have a lot of this in the Bulgarian tradition. And we made a lot of research in the Bulgarian tradition and the Mongolian too. We'll start to make a new repertoire, and also with on the stage it will be concert dessiné. It's named with illustrator who make live
painting
with the music. So we will work during 3 weeks in the period of 1 year. We already made the first week last month, and the second and the third will be in the beginning of the next year. And next April, at the end of April, the new project will be done. Yeah.
Ok. Quindi loro come Violon Barbare, come gruppo, stanno lavorando su un progetto sui mostri, le creature fantastiche, sia della tradizione bulgara che di quella mongola. Quindi ce ne sono tanti di queste creature fantastiche, e si tratta di un concerto in cui interverrà anche un artista visivo che appunto in contemporanea con la musica cercherà di rappresentare le creature che loro evocano, diciamo, con la musica. E si sviluppa, questo lavoro si sviluppa lungo 3 settimane, fra adesso e aprile del prossimo anno, e quindi loro contano di finire di scrivere, diciamo, questo spettacolo entro il prossimo aprile. Ok. A question about improvisation. Do you improvise a lot with the gadulka, or it's mostly like written things?
The gadulka is not a rhythmic instrument.
Rhythmic?
No, it's not about the rhythm.
No, I mean improvisation.
Yeah, I do it a lot. Yeah.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, not exactly in this group, but it's a melodic instrument for improvisation too.
Okay. So this was. Did you study this also like in academy, or it's just like?
I never studied the improvisation.
Nobody
learned that at the school. It's a kind of thing. It's a very personal, and a lot of people who play music for marriage. It's the place on the marriage to do a lot of improvisation. You change the tonality and different way of melodies.
Ok. Quindi io ho chiesto sull'improvvisazione, dice che l'improvvisazione viene usata molto. Non è una cosa che si studia, si fa soprattutto nei matrimoni, e quindi viene usata parecchio, lui la usa tanto. And I was listening to some Bulgarian music. You have a very, like, it seems, at least to my ears, kind of complex harmonies, and you change a lot of chords. Can you explain a little bit how the music works, like, very basically, maybe?
I think it's something new.
Something new. Okay.
The changement of the tonalities and during the solo. I think from the 80s years, 1980s.
Okay.
It was very new in the folklore.
Okay.
It was the marriage orchestra from the Tras.
Okay.
With the musician like Ivo Popazov in clarinet, and a lot of gypsy musicians played new instrument for the traditional music. Like it's not new, but it was called new instrument, like clarinet, accordion, drums.
Okay. Like electric guitar, stuff like that.
Electric guitar, bass guitar. It's especially made for marriage, for a lot of people with a lot of noise, and from this moment, with this new instrument, the saxophone too, you can find a lot of very big ambitious, not only like a gadulka. I have here, without to move my hand, I have 1 octave plus quinta. And with a clarinet, you have 2 octaves, 3 octaves. So from this moment, this instrument, the repertoire changed. The improvisation says that the music changed.
It became more like similar to what clarinet did, or
yes. So we try the clarinet try to make the traditional music like the singing. Like a gadulka, and now the gadulka player tried to play like a clarinet too. So it's very interesting too.
Yes, I clarinet. Yes, very interesting. Perché allora lui ci dice che appunto a partire dagli anni 80 c'è stata l'introduzione di nuovi strumenti, soprattutto nei gruppi che si facevano matrimoni, no? Orchestre per i matrimoni. Dei musicisti zingari anche che suonavano strumenti come il clarinetto, sono state introdotte chitarre elettriche, bassi elettrici, batteria, sassofoni, qualsiasi cosa. E quindi il fenomeno è stato interessante perché questi nuovi strumenti cercavano di avvicinarsi alla musica tradizionale, mentre invece i suonatori magari di gadulka, di strumenti più tradizionali, hanno sviluppato il loro linguaggio in direzione proprio del virtuosismo, diciamo, che poteva fare un clarinettista o un sassofonista. That's quite interesting, Dimitar. And but how is the traditional system? Do you have modes? I mean, how I mean, how can I ask you? It's like a modal system that you have in traditional music,
yeah.
or
It's
it's codified, it's not codified.
model system, but it can be very complicated.
Mm-hmm.
But I think first you can take some things modal,
Mm-hmm.
and in the old tradition, I think it was very simple.
Mm-hmm.
You play your song, you play some instruments tell,
Mm-hmm.
but you not need to change your mode, your tonality. So you stay, you improvise on the same model.
Okay.
And with
Do you have like modes like in Turkish music, like makams and stuff?
yeah,
Like that?
with the in the trachea
Mm-hmm.
truss, there's it's like a autostrada for
Okay. Highway.
for the people between the Orient and Occident, and there's a lot of movement of people, of music, of instruments.
Mm-hmm.
And so this was the modern gadulka.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot say that it's very modern like an instrument, but it was the modern type of gadulka.
Mm-hmm.
You can play a little bit more things that in the old style of gadulka.
Mm-hmm.
So now, in this instrument, with practice, you can play in many tonality.
Okay.
It's a chromatic instrument.
Yeah, I mean, you can do this with a
Yeah, but I can do, but I'm not the only one person who.
No, I mean, the instrument went in this direction. I mean, if you take, I don't know, the Cretan lira, for example, other kind of instrument, they didn't go to this kind of. I think they are still more into like modal things, probably, or they play the same scale, basically. You know, what you say. I mean, it seems like gadulka went in a different direction, like more.
I think my instrument is like all other instruments from Bulgaria went in the same direction, not only the gadulka.
Mm-hmm.
And this change of the tonality during the solo,
mm-hmm.
the improvisation, it's very codified.
Okay.
You can do a lot of things, but not everything.
Okay.
So I never learned that, but I have that in the years, and I can tell what will happen if you go one tone up or one tone under on a tierce, a terce or the quarte. It's not the same thing.
Okay.
So someone's it works, someone's don't works at all.
Okay.
So you have to know from which way you have to take to start from one tonality and go to one other.
Okay, so you mean the tonal changes are codified, so yeah. there is a like a path to follow.
I think that the name of that is makam.
Makam, ok. Bene, quindi lui dice appunto che il sistema bulgaro è un sistema modale, soprattutto la parte sud della Tracia era un po' un crocevia di culture, per cui loro usano un sistema simile a quello dei makam turchi, però da un certo punto in poi è stato sviluppato questo sistema andando verso la tonalità, quindi appunto la gadulka lo possiamo considerare uno strumento cromatico, quindi ci puoi suonare quasi tutte la tonalità. Poi appunto si tratta comunque di sviluppi recenti. I mean, it seems quite a complex kind of thing. I mean, at least you have this system that comes from Turkish music or Ottoman music, and then mixed with
Yeah,
Western music.
it's
Uh,
very when when I hear the musician from Greece and from Turkey,
uh,
I can find similar things,
mhm.
but you can very quickly hear that the music came from Turkey or from Greece or from Bulgaria. And I think in Bulgaria it's happened something new, something special.
Yes,
I don't say that it's better. Say that it's different.
yes.
It's more open. Maybe it comes from the gypsies music.
Maybe that's
Gypsies
possible.
musician, the gypsies musician are not scared to play music. So to play something modern, to play something different, to change the tonalities, and this change, I never heard so much in Turkey or in Greece.
No, I don't. I mean, as
It's
far as I know, it seems like you are more into like traditional modal music, while
I think
Bulgaria, as you said, maybe for the gypsy community, or there is something evolved. Is like an evolved form of modality. That's quite
yeah.
interesting. Quindi spiego un attimo cosa hai detto. Quindi lui ci dice che secondo lui appunto la Bulgaria è particolare come situazione perché appunto essendo un po' un crocevia di culture e soprattutto secondo lui grazie alla comunità zingara, no? Gitana, c'è stata un'evoluzione della modalità che non è come quella che c'è in Turchia o in Grecia, che è rimasta un po' simile all'origine, ma è andata mischiando altri linguaggi sostanzialmente. Quindi è un grande miscuglio, quindi ci sono elementi forti modali del makam, ma anche elementi forti della tonalità, anche grazie a questi musicisti zingari. Ok, Dimitar, that's very interesting. And I hope we will have the chance to meet maybe in person or maybe sometime speak again. It's very interesting this what you said about like this new Bulgarian music, what came out from this like modal heritage but went into new territories, and also what you do with your ensembles is very interesting, I think.
Yeah.
Also, I mean, sound, as you said, is it's very interesting to see how an instrument like the gadulka, which is very close to the lira, can have this kind of expressive language if you play it in a certain way, like you do, for example.
But in this group, I tried to do something different. Not only to play my instrument like I played in Bulgaria, but I use my instrument like a rhythmic instrument. So I never heard to the moment someone to do that, but I think when you start to play music with other musicians, you have first to hear the group, and not only your personal instrument, what you like to play, but the most important is the sound of the group. So I play a lot of rhythmic things.
Yes,
and harmonic things too, with two strings
okay,
together. But I never learned to make it.
Okay.
So I looked my Mongolian colleagues to play with two strings, and to make some harmony together, I use two strings too. So we have four.
Ok, quindi lui ci dice che appunto nel gruppo you were talking about specific about violon barbare, right? About this kind of playing, right?
Yeah.
Quindi lui parla specificamente del gruppo dei violon barbari in cui suona con quest'altro musicista mongolo che suona uno strumento più basso, no, simile al violoncella a due corde. Lui cerca di interpretare in quel caso lo strumento come parte di un gruppo, quindi diciamo, la cosa importante per lui è il risultato in ensemble. Quindi cerca di fare delle cose più ritmiche ma anche più armoniche, diciamo, quindi utilizzando doppie corde e anche insieme, diciamo, in una dialettica con l'altro strumento mongolo. Okay. But with Boya, you are playing like more melodic stuff, right?
Yeah, because of the piano.
Mm-hmm.
The piano is very complex and instrument. You can play the bass, you can play the melodies, can play the harmony, can play the rhythmics, and a lot of things. So I had a lot of place to play the melodies.
Ok, quindi nel caso invece dei Boya, che è l'altro gruppo, lui ha più spazio per suonare le melodie proprio perché c'è un pianoforte, per cui la parte armonica, ritmica, insomma il tappeto lo può fare nel pianoforte. Ok, thank you very much, Dimitar. It was very interesting. I hope we'll have the chance to speak again, and good luck with your projects.
Merci.
And I hope really to see you. I didn't see you live yet, but I would like to. If there is the possibility, I will come to your concert. And I hope, I mean, for all the musicians of the world, that there will be the possibility very soon.
Our first concert will be in the beginning of June.
June? Where are you playing?
2nd June in Switzerland, in Schweizeria.
Okay.
In Lutry. Lutry is not far away from Lausanne.
Ok. Loro hanno un concerto il 2 giugno vicino a Losanna. I'm living in Milano right now, so maybe
and
I can join you.
Maybe in July we'll play also in Lugano.
Ah, Lugano, ok. Quindi loro hanno un concerto vicino a Losanna al 2 giugno e poi a Lugano invece a luglio. Quindi per chi è interessato sono due occasioni interessanti. Ok, thank you very much and I hope to see you soon.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, bye bye. Thank you.